Kuntz again, running for mayor, City of Duvall. I'm trying to bring back a little bit of vision and leadership to the town. I want to talk a little bit about another project that we had years ago, and it was a huge park that we had the opportunity to buy from Mrs. McCormick. And when the original purchase of the property was made, there was a lot of talk about why we were buying a big floodplain. The property only flooded, it was good for nothing. But we had in our minds a vision of a beautiful riverfront park. So we purchased the property, and we were sure at that point still, we weren't really sure how we were going to develop or what we were going to do with this park. But we knew that in the future, this park would be used, and it would be the diamond for Duvall. A beautiful piece of property. It was actually, when we were little kids coming down here, we used to come down through the blackberry briars. We had literally a little tunnel that we walked through to get down to the riverbank. So this riverbank and the sandbar that they have sandblast on today is some place that we used to play back in the late 60s and early 70s and all through the 70s before we ever developed this property. So I kind of wanted to show you a little bit about the park and what we did. So this park was purchased from Mrs. McCormick in honor of her husband, in memory of him, William F. McCormick. So the City of Duvall has purchased it, and it is a beautiful piece. Now I'm going to try to walk with this camera, so that please bear with me a little bit here. Now, the vision that we had for this, my wife and I, we owned the property here, the city did. We purchased it, we owned it, but at this point we still didn't know what we were going to do with this property. And my wife and I, we went up to Canada, and on our way back from Canada, we were coming into a place called Revelstoke, British Columbia. And it was first thing in the morning. We just left Banff, and my wife got car sick. So we pulled over in this little town called Revelstoke. And when we pulled over at Revelstoke, I checked into a motel for her. She got car sick, and I went out and I told her I'd be back. Well, I spent the day out walking around Revelstoke. They have a beautiful train museum up there, and I noticed in the middle of town they were setting up this big, beautiful square they had, and it was being all decorated. I went up and talked to a few of the people there, and at this time I was the mayor here in Duvall. So I talked to them about what they were doing. They literally had music every night of the week during the summer. It was phenomenal. It was an amazing thing to see. So about noon I went back to the hotel. I got my wife, Jerry. Her and I went back uptown and we listened to the music in the park. It was absolutely phenomenal. Incredible. So when I came back from that trip, my very first council meeting when I got back, I told the entire audience, there's quite a few people out there, and the council and everyone to close their eyes. And I wanted to give them a vision of what we could be doing down at the Riverfront Park if we developed this. And if you've ever been down at the river today, you would see the music in the park. The vision was where people would come and join together as a community. They would have picnic lunches, blankets, chairs, ice chests, and listen to good music on the riverfront. And that is taking place. It is absolutely phenomenal. If you've never been down to it, highly recommend next year that you attend one of these. It's an amazing thing to see. The most important part is to see the children and the parents and the community come together as a group and then listen to this music. It just warms our hearts here in Duvall. So another one that we have was years ago when first put in the lines here along the path. We used to come down with my little riding tractor and we used to mow this thing. It was all brush and weeds, and we used to mow it all the way out to towards Ray Buren's place out south of Duvall, about a mile and a half, 2 miles out. And that's how we kept it open for citizens to walk. Came down with my little tractor, my sons would come down with me, and we would mow this, both sides. So every couple of weeks we'd come down and mow. So I could take you down a little bit closer, show you some signage here that's up. They got some signs that show tell a little bit about the Snoqualmie Valley, the salmon on the river. Pretty amazing.